Hi everyone, my name is Liz I Read and welcome to another video, and this is my book review for A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. So I will confess, it's been a long time since I read this, so my details may be a little fuzzy, but I did read this and I did really enjoy this installment. I do have some mixed feelings about this one, but we'll get into it. I will have to warn you, if you have not read the previous books, there will be spoilers for them. So if you do not want to be spoiled for those books, I suggest that you walk away and come back when you've read this book. So if you don't know, this is the fourth book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. It is a fairy story, so the main characters are all fae and they live in like the fairy world, and they have a bunch of drama that happens and relationships and romances and action. This is Nesta's story, and after the events of the previous trilogy, she's suffering PTSD and she's basically drowning her troubles in partying and alcohol and men and things like that. So she's having a really hard time, and of course Farah is really upset by it, and she doesn't really know what to do with Nesta. And Nesta's heart is really hardened. She's really upset dealing with all this. So this is her story specifically, and Farah's solution is to have her move out of her apartment and for her to live at one of the houses that they own. And this house is, I think, on a mountain. I don't remember, but there's a library attached to it that is a safe haven for priestesses. They do spiritual work, but some of them have been harmed in some way, abused in some way, and so this is their safe place. Basically, they can retreat to this library and work at the library and have a place to stay. So it's a safe haven for them, and Nesta is to train with Cassian. He is the general, basically, of this kingdom, and Nesta is to train with him. She's not trained in fighting at all or anything like that, so she's supposed to train with him and work the library in the afternoons, and that is their idea to help her kind of get over her trauma. So she reluctantly does it, but eventually she does, and along the way she does heal. And I liked how the author really took her time with Nesta, with her emotional growth and the healing that she goes through. She develops some relationships along the way. She develops a relationship with one of the female priests, and another woman, and they train together, and they kind of develop their own kind of female warrior group, which is amazing, and I absolutely loved it. I loved Nesta's story. Her growth, her journey throughout this story was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And there is a romance, and the romance is clearly between her and Cassian, and that was really good too. It wasn't as I anticipated. I was really hoping for a lot lighter or like lighthearted story romance. I was anticipating like a lot of banter, chemistry that way between the two of them, but it wasn't like that. It was more about Nesta growing through her trauma, and so I still enjoyed it. This is definitely a lot steamier than the other two books. The other two books, there's a little bit of it. This is like throughout the whole book is like that, and I guess that is one of my criticisms. I don't really know. It wasn't to my taste. It was totally fine. I'm not like upset by it really, but I think it distracted me sometimes away from the story a little bit. I think it was maybe a little bit too much, because I did enjoy her story on its own. I felt like it didn't really need all that, but some people like it, so that's totally fine. So because of that, I did lower my rating. It wasn't my favorite part of the story, and I think I was anticipating the romance to be a lot different, and I think that's maybe my own fault. But it definitely hinted at that way, that it was going to be maybe a more angstier romance that way, but it didn't, and the angst was more about Nesta and her dealing with her own issues. But the ending was amazing. I loved how they had to kind of do this trial thing, the three women, and they worked together. They were able to help each other out, and it was an amazing story. So I did end up giving this 4 stars, and I don't think I'm gonna have a spoiler section because it's been a while since I read this, so I'm trying to catch up on all my reviews, so I don't have anything additional to say. But if you've read this book before, please comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about it. I'd love to have a conversation with you in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not done so. You can follow me on Goodreads and Instagram. And you know what? I want you to keep reading. Bye.